Is karma kind? Now, first of all, we have to define what karma is. Karma is cause and effect. It is every action having an equal and opposite reaction. It is push and pull. It is the existence of a universal code that may be unseen, but obviously comes into being when we perform any action as a knowing and understanding participant. Now, in the Bible, it might be called one reaps as he sows. In Hinduism and in Buddhism, it's called, of course, karma. And if we go back far enough, as far as archaeology goes, as far as scriptural evidence goes, Hinduism is, or its true name, the path of Sanatana Dharma, the eternal religion. Then we see that it is the first spiritual and religious way of thinking to actually have the idea of karma as far as it comes to scripture and archaeological evidence among the human race. Going back, of course, in India, but there are many documents that have traveled throughout the world in relation to karma being the first basic ideological and philosophical understanding in India, all those many thousands of years ago. But when it comes down to it, what is karma? How does it affect us as human beings? It is the fabric of reality. Everything that you do will have an effect, and that effect will come back at you if you do well. If you basically give money to a homeless person and you give them enough to actually afford enough food to feed them for that day, then that's good. That karma will come back to you as much as that person was fed. You will be fed in the future for that day. Now, if you give them enough money to feed them for a week or a month or a year, all of that good karma will come back to you. But the thing is, when it comes to karma, if you give something to somebody expecting for karma to reward you, and that's why you do it, then that karma is rendered null and void. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take effect. It doesn't come back at you with the same magnitude as you gave it to somebody else. If you gave a homeless person enough money to feed himself for a year, no matter what he uses it on, if you wanted him to basically feed himself for a year, and you were like, okay, this is going to be some great karma, that karma is rendered null and void. You have to be kind for the sake of being kind. You have to be good for the sake of being good. And you have to be sattvic, pure, for the sake of being sattvic. Now, if you want to basically gain from karma, and that's why you give to people, you want karma to come back at you with all its grandest magnitudes, so that you become a king of compassion, a king of compassion, then you will become a beggar. And what happens when we decide that, we want our soul, we want our ego to benefit from our actions, and not doing something because it's right, not doing something because the grander whole will benefit, but doing something because either our soul, if you're thinking in the long term, as far as, the overall karma of your soul, if you're just trying to feed that, then that's still just as selfish as feeding your ego. But if you're also, more so, if you're feeding your ego only, and you're just trying to get people to look at you, say, okay, this is a great person. This person feeds people. This person gives money to homeless people who have nothing. And if that's what your ego is focused on, then that's even worse, because that materialism is what fights against the progress of your soul. And it fights against the idea that we are all one. And ultimately, nobody can be recognized as an individual and have it last. No one can gain fame and bring it to themselves in a future life. Nobody can gain fame and take it with them after they die. Fame is within a single lifetime. And the lack of understanding of that, the lack of understanding of the true nature of karma, brings one to a state of being that may be worse than actually stealing something, taking something from a homeless person, because you're trying to basically jerry-rig the system so that you benefit. So we must be careful when we perform actions. Why am I doing this? Why am I helping this person? Do I want to be seen as somebody that's doing good? Do I want my soul to gain a certain level of karma? Or am I doing it because that person is hungry? And the simplest laws of the universe have most to do with the simplest emotions in a human being. That person is hungry. They should be fed. I feed them. That's simple, but it's good. This person is going through a hard time in their lives. They need somebody to listen to them. So I listen to them. That is good. You don't listen to them so that you gain something later on. And you must instill this in yourself. And even if you have an idea of karma and know what it is, even if you have an idea of karma and realize that good actions will come back at you in the future. And some of the time it's actually better to do that than not helping somebody at all. To actually just, even if you expect to gain better karma in the future, then sometimes it's better to just help that person, even if you hope for that good karma. But a lot of the time, it will work against you if that's your only motivation. But, back to the point. If you listen to that person, because you should listen to them because they need listening to, and try to help them whatever way you can. Spread your knowledge, spread your wisdom, whatever you have in you, whatever you think that you know, give to them so that they can get through a situation in their lives, so that they can better understand their situation from a different point of view. Now, karma is a lot like cause and effect. Well, it is cause and effect. It is you will reap as you sow. It is every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and push and pull, the circular motion of events and time itself. Push and pull. It's Oberos. It is Jormungandr, the world serpent. It is the Mobius strip. It feeds into itself. Existence itself and actions and karma. It all feeds into itself. And why does karma exist? Why does this cycle just continually meet its tail and continue on seemingly forever? Day of Brahma after day of Brahma, night of Brahma after night of Brahma, trillions and trillions and trillions of years for every single soul in this universe and all of the multiverse. Why does it continue? Why is karma necessary ultimately? It provides a platform in reality for every soul to realize the nature of reality, the purpose of why it was separated from the grander whole, why it was separated from the source, why it was separated from God, if you will. And I believe in gods as well. They are functions of the one source, and everything is ultimately a part of God, I believe. I follow the path of Sanatana Dharma, and I also follow the gods of my ancient European ancestors. And I believe that all of these things are one, and that karma itself is just a tool to aid souls in seeing that it isn't about an individual. It isn't about one personality, one lifetime, one ego, or even one soul. It's about the grander whole, and working towards helping everyone else, and not just oneself, especially not oneself. Of course you should respect yourself. You should defend the dignity of your soul when it comes down to it, and you shouldn't allow somebody to step on you. But that's defending the dignity of your soul, and you should only become violent if absolutely necessary. That's the last option. And if you want to be especially progressive in your identification with the oneness and not just your individual soul, you will never result to violence. But that's especially hard for humans to understand, and that's why I don't always mention it, because I don't even have the ability to follow that way. But it is one of the highest ways. But regardless, the true purpose of karma, as I've said just now, is to realize that we are beyond individualization. We are beyond these divisions that seem to be separating us from another, seem to be separating every single soul in society, every single animal from every human, every single plant from animals and humans, every single world from one another. Every soul is behind everything. And there are all these divisions, but all these divisions only aid karma, and karma aids us in making us realize that these divisions don't exist. They aren't real. And the way that we break them down is to help everyone despite the idea that, or despite the feeling that we're separate. Helping everyone and realizing that they are one with us, and continually working towards that aim and looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, this is not me. Everything is me. that is what karma is trying to do for us. It is a mechanism. It is not something in and of itself. It is a mechanism to help us see ourselves. And ourselves are one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting. This has been a video about karma. And the question, is karma kind? And I think it is. If you've come to the same conclusion after this video, feel free to shoot it down in the comment section below. If you disagree completely and you don't like any of this, shoot it down in the comment section below. If you like this video at all, hit that thumbs up down there. It really helps out the channel. And thank you very much. And I hope all of y'all have a great day.